what they call Heroes Day. I specifically say ZANU-PF because some Zimbabweans are not celebrating this day because of the brutality that is done by ZANU-PF on innocent, helpless Zimbabweans. So they have nothing really to celebrate. And even people who fought for the liberation struggle still have got nothing to celebrate. It used to be Zimbabweans who would write a statement such as this one, which has been written by retired Lieutenant General Winston Sikauke Mapra. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please don't forget to press the subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So this is what retired Lieutenant General Winston Sikauke Mapranga has penned about an hour ago. He says, we must defend the ideals our comrades died for. On this Heroes Day, I cannot offer empty celebration while so many Zimbabweans carry the burden of poverty, exclusion, and disappointment. Heroes Day is not merely a date on the calendar. It is a national obligation to remember why our comrades fought, suffered, and died. They did not go to war so that the liberation, the nation's wealth would be captured by a privileged few, while ordinary citizens struggle for decent livelihoods. So I will correct the heading. In fact, he did not say that the Heroes Day is a mere day. He said it should not be treated as a mere day as it is being done by the regime of Emmerson Mnangagwa. So he says they did not sacrifice so that war veterans, peasants, workers, and young people would be reduced to spectators in the country. They helped liberate. They fought for land, dignity, justice, opportunity, government, that answers to its people. As we honor the fallen, we must honestly confront the distance between these ideals and the lived reality of many Zimbabweans. Too many war veterans still face delayed support, inadequate welfare, and economic insecurity. Too many young people see no path to meaningful work or enterprise. Too many communities continue to wait for services, infrastructure, and opportunities that should flow from the sources of this country. Heroes Day must therefore be more than ceremony. It must be a day of accountability. Zimbabwe requires leadership that restores discipline, integrity, and a sense of national purpose within ZANU-PF and across the state. The party's liberation legacy cannot survive where public office is seen as a route to personal enrichment, where patronage overrides competence, and where citizens lose confidence that their voices and their constitution matter. In this moment, I believe General Constantino Chiwenga represents one of the leaders capable of helping to restore seriousness, order, and respect for the values that built the liberation movement. This is not a call for personality worship. It is a call for principled leadership. Leadership that confronts corruption, protects the Constitution, respects institutions, and puts the welfare of ordinary Zimbabweans ahead of elite interest. Our country must respect the culture, must reject the culture of Zwikananda, the belief that power exists to create untouchable individuals who prosper without accountability. National resources belong to Zimbabweans, not to works of privilege. Those entrusted with authority must remember that leadership is service, not ownership of the state. We must also protect constitutionalism. Zimbabwe's constitution places a two-term limit on the president, and these provisions are meant to prevent office holders from rewriting the rules for their own benefit. Any attempt to manipulate these safeguards would undermine public trust and dishonor the democratic aspirations of which so many sacrificed. The task before us is not to abandon the liberation legacy, but to rescue it from complacency, corruption, and self-interest. That requires courage from leaders, honesty from party members, and vigilance from citizens. It requires us to place Zimbabwe before factions, families, fortunes, and personal ambitions. To the families of the fallen, to the veterans who remain with us, and to every young Zimbabwean seeking a future, your sacrifices and hopes must not be used as decorations for speeches. They must be the standard by which leadership is judged. It is good to remember, but remembrance means nothing if we do not act in accordance with what they died for. So the other thing that he had to do also, I will cover it. He had to wish retired General Chiwenga a 70th birthday. He says, happy 70th birthday, Mukanya. 70 years is not merely a measure of time, it is a ledger of choices, a back of battles fought and avoided, of loyalties tested and either proven or exposed. It is a long road, and very few walk it with their name, dignity, and essence intact. You have. What stood out most about this milestone is not the number itself, but the manner in which you chose to mark it. No spectacle, no performance, no theater for those who orbit power with outstretched hands and rehearsed praise. Instead, you chose family, the one constituency that does not applaud on command, does not calculate benefit, and does not disappear when the winds shift. That choice speaks volumes. I have observed over many years the ecosystem that grows around power in our country. It is always a healthy one. It produces men who master the art of proximity without ever still doing the live broadcast. So I'll pick up from where I think the network cut off. It says it is not always a healthy one. It produces men who master the art of proximity without ever cultivating principle. They become fixtures in corridors and ceremonies, fluent in slogans but empty of conviction. They attach themselves not to vision but to advantage. Their loyalty is seasonal. Their presence is transactional. They gather where there is something to be gained, not something to be built. We have seen how quickly such circles rearrange themselves, how easily yesterday's praise singers become today's critics, how swiftly allegiance dissolves when access is threatened. It is not companionship, it is consumption. So it just cut off again. So I'll continue. It is not companionship, it is consumption. You have never been that man. You understood long before it became fashionable to say so, that a life anchored in family, in authenticity, and in quiet strength is far more enduring than one propped up by noise and numbers. Titles fade, positions shift, influence recalibrates, but the respect of those who know you without the uniform, without the office, without the audience, that remains. At 70, you have chosen substance over spectacle, truth over theater, and people over performance. That is victory in itself. There is also something instructive. Again, I have to restart again. I don't know, because of this network. Apologies once again. So there is something instructive in your posture at this stage. Many chase relevance by tightening their grip on visibility, mistaking attention for legacy. You have done opposite, stepping into a space where presence is defined not by how many are surround you, but by who remains when everything else falls away. And in that space, you are not diminished, you are clarified. Mkanya, the years ahead are not a descent, but a refinement. The noise will continue around you to jostly the positioning, the endless recalculations of those still chasing what we have already outgrown. Let them. We have already answered the question that matters most. Who stands with you when there is nothing to gain? May your days ahead be marked by peace, by the steady presence of those who truly belong in your cycle. And so that was it. It was retired Lieutenant Winston Sikauke Mapranga ending up wishing Chiwenga a happy birthday. In fact, complaining that, of course, the Heroes' Day is an important day, but Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa has rendered this day useless because of failure to cater for the people who sacrificed for this day, for the people actually who lost a lot in their life because of this particular day. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast as I give